Welcome to Windy City Live. This week we are honoring the Chicago Black Renaissance. Today we have a segment called Blast in the Past. Now we introduce a special guest in our studio. Put your hands together for Gwendolyn Brooks. Hi Gwendolyn.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, the studio was so excited and I was like, Gwendolyn's coming in. They're like, yeah! So, last time we had you in the studio, you were working on a new poem.
Oh, yeah.
And you were also just got married to Henry Lowington Blakely Jr. How's that going?
Oh, it's going so good. We have 2 kids now, Henry and Nora, and they're great. As for the poem, it's called The Kitchenette Building, and it was very emotional for me to write, so I'm really glad that it's finally out there.
Wow, I wish I could meet your kids. I really do.
Oh.
I really want to talk about how you've impacted Chicago, and I mean, I know everyone is so inspired by your poems and just the message in them, but let's discuss how you really have impacted it.
Well, for starters, it was very hard to be a woman in this time period, let alone a black one who wanted to be recognized for her writing, because everyone was just so skeptical about how I would be treated. And being recognized by the Chicago Tribune and the Defender, it really showed that you can be a woman and be recognized for what you do.
And that's so inspiring, and it's mind-blowing. You had an encounter with JFK. Can you explain to us how that was, your emotions, what it was like?
I mean, I'll never forget that day. That was very important to me. It was 1962, and Mr. Kennedy asked me to read a poem in the Library of Congress. And a few years later, they appointed me poetry consultant to the library.
Oh.
So it was a great time.
That's so interesting. So now we'll go to a commercial, and we'll be right back. I love your necklace.
Oh, thank you.
And we're back.
We are back with Gwendolyn Brooks. Gwendolyn, you've won so many awards, including the Pulitzer one. How was that?
It was such a great honor. What made it even more special to me was that I was the first African American woman to receive it.
Wow.
So it just meant a lot to me.
That's amazing. So as promised before, you're gonna read a poem to us.
Oh, The Kitchenette Building.
Yeah. So take it away.
The Kitchenette Building. We are things of dry hours, an involuntary plan, grayed in and gray. Dream, mate, a giddy sound, not strong, like rent, feeding a wife, satisfying a man. But could a dream, sent through onion fumes, its white and violet, fight with fried potatoes and yesterday's garbage ripening in the hall? Flutter or sing an aria down these rooms. Even if we are willing to let it in, had time to warm it, keep it very clean, anticipate a message, let it begin? We wonder, but not well, not for a minute. Since number 5 is out of the bathroom now, we think of lukewarm water. Hope to get in it.
That was beautiful, Gwendolyn.
Thank you.
It was just, I'm going to go buy it off of iTunes now.
Thank you.
So now we're going to take questions from the audience. Our first question is from a high school student from Hinsdale, and his name is Chris. Take it away, Chris.
Hey Gwendolyn, I was taking a college visit at Northeastern Illinois University. I was really moved by the speech you gave. What inspired you to start teaching?
Thanks, Chris. Teaching to me was a way of dealing with hardships and helping people realize that they do matter. My inspirations were people like Jane Addams and Elizabeth Steinberg.
That was a great question, by the way. High school students are learning a lot in school these days. So smart. Now to Lauren, also from a high school in Hinsdale. Take it away, Lauren.
How do you think you contributed to the Chicago Black Renaissance?
Good question, Lauren. I think being a woman inspired a lot of girls to write and speak their mind. Also, I think living in the ghetto and becoming so successful really showed people that your race doesn't define you and who you can become. Also, teaching helped me give back to the community just as other writers did as I was growing up.
Thank you, Gwendolyn, for just being on the show is such an honor to have you.
Well, thank you for having me. It was so great.
Yeah, the audience loved you. The studio always loves you when you come in.
Thank you.
So next week on Windy City Live, we will have Justin Bieber on the show.
Ain't nobody got time for that.